Here's douchebag Pocahontas pontificating now that she dropped out of the race for being such a prolific loser on every level. But Pocahontas, the phony mayonnaise blood type white woman from hell, who declares herself an Indian so she could get college acceptance, entrance, so she could become partners in law firms or whatever the hell else this disgusting, smelly looking piece of fish decided she would choose a career path as long as she could call herself whatever minority was the flavor of the day. I wonder when she was going to evolve into a black Jewish lesbian. I mean, this is the cartoon of American politics, a freak like this, the byproduct of the woman's movement. Because look how feminine she looks. Another lesbian with a Lloyd Bridges haircut. They all look like they're in Sea Hunt, right? Give them a spear, let them go shark diving. It's just unbelievable to me. In the name of feminism, they all try to be manly because they love feminism so much that they actually betray their own gender. And this stupid woman is talking about how Trump failed as a leader because he didn't do enough prevention. This is the same woman that called him a xenophobe, a racist, a homophobe, like Bernie Sanders. Trump is a racist. He is an anti-Semite. I love the calling card of Bernie Sanders. Everybody give him a pastrami sandwich and let him point out all the goyim that are anti-Semitic. You know, it's just biblical. These lying lefties. Remember this, you can't spell liberal without L-I-A-R. And that's what they are. At their core, they are lying sacks of crap. And they are the ultimate entrepreneurs because they'll sell anything to get ahead. They'll tell you they're Indians. They'll tell you they're dwarfs. They'll tell you they're aliens. They'll tell you they're witches. Whatever gets their agenda done by any means necessary. The Saul Alinsky, Vladimir Lenin crowd. The rabble that promote enmity among the races and enmity among the people and divisions of ethnicities and religions, all so they could capitalize. The worst scoundrels that have ever cursed the earth. This is what a democracy devolves into, by the way. This happened in Germany. Hitler made a speech from the Reichstag and he named ad infinitum all the different political parties, while the members of the Reichstag all started to laugh when he got to about the 70th party. You talk about bifurcating the body politic. When you have more than 3 major parties, you're in trouble. You're on your way to banana land. Say hello to my little friend. That's what curses Central and South America. They can't give up the banana tyranny. England was that way in the 1500s, the 900s, up to fiefdoms. Everybody was a noble, but nobody acted noble. Everybody was a mobster. And that's what the FBI in this country wants. So they could all grab their fat piece of pie, like Jim Comey and Mr. Potato Head Brennan and the rest of the Tammany Hall altar boy crowd, the McCabe's, the Comeys, the Brennans, surround the house, Clancy. Yeah, they spread that right from New York to the FBI. Have any of you ever watched the 75th Precinct about the crooks that ran the NYPD Brooklyn Precinct, the 75? Go watch that. It's on Showtime or something. And that's what the FBI became. Because there's money in them there drugs. Biggest pushers in America are cops and FBI agents, CIA agents. They peddle that crap and they make fortunes. They throw a bunch of poor minority kids in jail to look like they're doing something. This is what we've devolved in. The crooked politicians that have all become bazillionaires, sending your job and future to China. And then they stand up in front of flags like this and tell you they're going to fight for you. Hillary Clinton, I want to fight for you. While she sat on the board at Walmart and made sure everything that she could get her disgusting, fish-smelling hands on was shipped to China in the way of jobs. And lost GDP. And this douche standing here telling Trump didn't do enough to prevent when he cut off flights to China immediately and they called him a racist. When he called it what it was, the corona chink virus, he's a racist. Let me tell you something, I'm a racist. I hate all races. If I was God, I'd flood this world and start all over again. I'm a racist intellectually because I know the curse of every single race and ethnicity and their propensities and how they act. I'm not so social anymore. I find people to be disgusting. And when they become utterly predictable, I start to really hate them. Kiss me, I'm Irish. Right? Everything is, I'm black. Or, I'm a woman, hear me roar. There's a glass ceiling over my head. Right? Yeah? And all the banksters and all the Hasidim that break every rule and law in New York. And they're spreading this corona like the plague that they are. But you can't say that. And Cuomo's so afraid because they're going to need a lot of ventilators and Curious Joel. Look up Curious Joel for all you dumb goyim out there in hayseed country, the Hyksos that never know anything. There came to Egypt a pharaoh who did not know. That's what brought down the biggest dynasty in Egypt. When a Maroon took the throne and he was an Egyptian. Well, here we are, celebrating diversity, celebrating what makes us weaker. I'm not a WASP, but white Anglo-Saxon Protestants who built this country on a Protestant ethic, betrothed the society to the Bible, made it the greatest place on earth. That's not my people. I'm Mediterranean. But I don't care if the boot of Italy kicks Greece in the ass and they drown in the Mediterranean, because I'm an American. And those people are not the way I think or behave. Every time I'm among a bunch of Italians, I get into nothing but arguments because they're all socialists. They hated George Bush. They love Obama. They love him. Yeah. Anything that turns us downward, anything that compromises America so we could all be like Italy. Yeah. Wallowing in our own fecal matter. Right? That's why so many Italians run back to Italy, right? How about none? All the Puerto Ricans that want to knock Trump and hate America for everything it stands for, but they come here and they take the free money. I have to go to the supermarket with my gray card. That's what we become. So turn on the NFL and watch a bunch of $300 million boys play a game that's as fixed could be, while your crooked politicians sell your jobs away. And don't demand that they get audited. And don't question where they all became worth hundreds of millions of dollars for having an IQ of a dead duck. But they're all millionaires because they're nothing but lying scum. Save 5% of them. 5 to 8% of them are worth you know what. The rest of them ought to be hung for treason. And along comes a guy who's not a politician. You know the way Americans talk. I hate politicians. Oh, how come you don't like Trump? Because he's not a politician. Okay, retardo, let's start the lesson all over again. Yeah, but he tweets and he tells us what he really thinks. Yeah, you're right. You need a psychopath. Maybe someone who talks like this. I guess the shovel-ready jobs weren't really shovel-ready. Yeah, another psychopath. That's what you need. Or how about this guy? I never had sexual relations with that woman, Miss Monica Lewinsky. Never. Right? Oh, wait a minute. You want to come back to the microphone, Bill? Yeah, indeed I did have sexual relations with that woman. Oh, okay. Okay. As long as we got that straight, Billy. By the way, your zipper is open and your money is falling out of your pants. Oh, Hillary's going to be mad at you. Just keep stealing. Just keep lying. That's the American pastime. That's the American way in the year 2020. Lie, cheat, steal, and start all over again and wonder where your country went. And while you're lying in your beds many years from now, dying from corona, you can thank yourselves for your apathy, your ignorance. The good Lord said, my people suffer for ignorance. Ignorance isn't dumb like Forrest Gump. Stupid is stupid. Stupid is that stupid does. But ignorance, that's a special kind of problem. That's when the evidence is all around you, but you choose not to look or to pick it up and examine it. Because you have your own predisposed, predigested pablum of opinions. It's why women should not have been allowed to vote. Yeah, I'm a misogynist. Women should never be allowed to vote. But being Greek, knowing this, that's what the Athenians did. They didn't let them vote. You know why? They're prone to hysteria, as in hysterical, an overexcited womb, hyster, like in hysterectomy. That's where the word came from. And so when the Persians threatened to wipe Greece out, they came to attack Athens. They voted. Of course, only the men voted. 96% of those Athenian men said, we don't care how many of those Persians there are. We're going to kill them all. And that's what saved Europe. Yeah, that was 490 BC ago. Most of you probably never heard of that. It led to the Battle of Marathon and Salamis. 10 years later at Thermopylae, we just kept kicking those Persians' ass. They're still wearing their asses for hats. But not stupid Americans. No, because we don't have enough real Americans anymore. We've capitulated to foreigners. We brought in European Asiatics after World War II in the name of philanthropy. Because what they did in Europe wasn't tragic enough. Let them come here and do it. And we did. And now they own every media outlet, from Google to Facebook to NBC to CBS, and that's okay. And they own all the banks, and they run academia, and they pump all this communism down the throats of your stupid skulls full of mush children that all have honor student bumper stickers on the back of their Subarus, right? But you're dumb. You buy your foreign cars and you wonder where your economy went. You go to the soccer game dressed in your Chinese sweatsuit, and you wave an American flag made in China, and you wear your USA hat made in China, and you drive your Subaru and your Toyota, and you chant USA, USA, because you're full of shit. See, if you go to Germany, they wear Adidas. They don't wear stuff made in China. They walk the way they talk. They're not buying Chevys and Fords. Oh, but the answer is because they're crap. Really? What makes something good or bad is the value. It's the value. They make sure that the American car is never a value so as to support their own manufacturing. And you say, but they make BMWs in Alabama. Yeah, dumber than dog shit. But where's the money go for each SKU? That's back to Berlin and Hamburg and all your Toyotas that go back. The money goes to Yokohama and Tokyo. But you're too stupid to know that. I see union workers in America driving their Tundra trucks. It murders me. All the union government workers, especially cops, that all love their Lexuses and their Nissan Muranos. How appropriate they named them Muranos. So this is what you are. This is what you chose to be with your crooked, disgusting scumbag politicians that are now bringing you plagues. But don't worry, I know what really cures corona. It's called radiation. Like in a nuclear war. That's coming very soon. I'm convinced. The Chinese hate you. So don't say anything derogatory about them. Just keep telling yourself there's no place like home. Click your heels together and you'll get back to Kansas. But let me give you the bad news. Those Chicom chinks want you dead. Their end game isn't to be better capitalists than Americans and Europeans. Their end game is to kill every one of you and have the world overrun by red ants from China. Read the book of Revelation. An army of 100,000. That's the ancient number 200 million. About 15 years ago, the third-ranking Chi-Com general said, we're not afraid of America. We could field an army of 200 million men. Right out of Revelation. But don't believe your Bible. Don't read history because you don't need to. You have feelings. I love when women say that. Well, you know how I feel. How do you feel, honey? Tell me how you feel. You feel with your hands? That's how I feel. Tell me what you know. Doo! Flatline. They know nothing. They know about the Kardashians and buying shoes. Well, this rant is about over.